Hello everyone and welcome to Pick a Card reading on how do people view you when you're vibing high. For this pick a card, I'd like you to take a few deep breaths before picking one pile for your reading, and once you're ready, please pick a pile. So for pile 1, we have the Rose Quartz, pile 2, the Clear Quartz, or pile 3, the Amethyst. Hello pile 1 and welcome to your pick a card reading on how do people view you when you're vibing high. So right off the bat to pile 1, I feel like when you're grounded, when you're in your element, when you're vibing high, you're a group of people who are very peaceful. To the core of you, you're very loving, you're very harmonious. I'm also picking up that this group is quite spiritual, or you're beginning a spiritual path. When you're not in your element, when you're not vibing high, I feel like this group could be quite erratic, or perhaps you have a lot of intense energies within which need grounding. So when you're not vibing high, you could be quite chaotic. But I feel like when you're vibing high, people view you as someone who has many options. They view you as someone who is level-headed. When faced with challenges, when you're vibing high, you're someone who can stay neutral. You can observe the situation calmly before making a decision. So when you're vibing high, pile 1, people view you as someone who is positive under stress, someone who can remain calm under stress. They also view you as someone who can look at, explore the options available before making a decision. Also, when you're vibing high, people see that you are a thoughtful thinker, someone who can take some time out before making the decision, someone who likes to make well-informed decisions and choices. So when you're vibing high, pile 1, people see you in your power. They see you as someone who is empowered, someone who knows how to take a step back when needed. They also feel you're quite balanced in your viewpoint, in your judgment. With this Ace of Pentacles, when you're vibing high, people see you as being very grounded and someone who's ready to take on new challenges, responsibilities. They also see you're someone who's capable of beginning new solid foundations for yourself, new projects that will reap rewards in the future. So when you're vibing high, people see you being calm, collected, resourceful, reliable. And I also feel like when you're vibing high, people trust your judgment, because you're not someone who would make impulsive decisions. I feel like you're quite calculated, you're quite meticulous in making important decisions. With this Listen card, I feel like when you're vibing high, people see you as someone who they can go to confide in. They also feel like you're someone who could give constructive feedback. So when you're vibing high, people find you more approachable and listenable. They also feel like you listen to your inner senses. With this Two of Cups, I feel like they also view you as someone who is a balance of masculine and feminine energies. So when you're vibing high, you're not acting from a place of control, fear, but rather you're acting from a place of love. You're following your heart and soul. In terms of romance, when you're vibing high, people view you as very giving, very open to love, very receptive. They view you as passionate and romantic. There's also good energy flowing through you when you're vibing high. I'm being brought to the Stuff Spirit card, Be Peace, which I feel like when you're vibing high, Par 1, you're able to centre and ground your energies. I feel like in this group we may have some psychics, intuitives, mediums. Mediums is coming through quite strongly, so I feel like when you're grounded, you're able to channel spirit, source energy. I'm also picking up that when you're vibing high, people view you as someone who's very strong, someone with conviction, integrity. They also view you as someone who has trust and faith in yourself and your destiny. So Par 1, I feel like some of you may be life path number 2 or number 8, or perhaps these numbers are quite significant to you. I'm also picking up that when you're vibing high, people see you as someone who can accomplish your dreams, your goals. They see you as someone who is very multi-talented, multitaskful. And they also view you as someone who's a deep intellectual thinker. When you're in your element, Par 1, people view you as someone who has the drive, the enthusiasm, the energy to fulfill what it is that you set out to achieve. They see you as very magnetizing when you're in your element. You glow. And I feel like when you're in your element, that's when you're able to influence others in a positive way. So Par 1, that's all I have for you for your reading on how do people view you when you're vibing high. I hope you've enjoyed today's reading, and if you have, please ensure to like, share and subscribe to the channel for more video uploads. And thank you for watching. Catch you next time. Bye. Hello Par 2, and welcome to your pick a card reading on how do people view you when you're vibing high. So right off the bat, Par 2, I feel like you're a group of people who are highly creative. I feel like some of you may be life path number 3, number 6 or number 7. Or perhaps those numbers are significant to you in your astrological or numerology chart. So people view you when you're vibing high as someone who is an eternal child. So when you're vibing high, Par 2, people view you as someone who is energetic, youthful. You may be old souls, but you do have this energy of reinvention. They feel like deep down you're a free spirit. They feel like you have an abundance of inner strength, inner vitality. They also feel like you're someone who can overcome your challenges and obstacles when you're in a good place. And when you're vibing high, they feel like you're able to enter, to access different realities, different worlds. There's something about you being able to balance polarities. So when you're vibing high, Par 2, people see you as someone who's very gifted, very lucky. They see you as someone who's very blessed and able to turn your life around. They also view you as someone who's very open, embracing. You may be open to divine intervention, divine guidance. They also see you as very nurturing. You may love being in nature. So when you're vibing high, people see you glowing, and they're seeing that you have a connection with Mother Earth. You may be someone who understands the elements. So in a way, I feel like when you're vibing high, people see you like the magician of your own life. With this crown chakra card, people view you as someone who is connected to the cosmos, to universal consciousness. So when you're balanced, they're able to see that you're very wise. And when you're vibing high, you're able to channel, gain insights and downloads. So I feel like in this group, you may undergo a lot of internal rebirths. People also view you as someone who's very fair when you're vibing high, because you're someone who's able to acknowledge your part in a situation. You take accountability, responsibility. And I feel like in this group, when you know you're in the wrong, you're able to apologise. For some of you, you may have found it quite hard to admit your faults in the past due to ego or pride. But I feel like as you grow in your journey, you're able to accept your part in situations. You're able to rise above situations, adversities in a mature manner. Also, when you're vibing high, people see you as someone who can bring yourself out of the darkness, out of challenging times. There's something about you that is very confident. You may have an abundance of inner confidence and faith. And I feel like people feel like you're guided by the divine. No matter what happens on your journey, you're able to bring yourself back up. You're able to triumph. People also see that you're very reliable and trustworthy. Some of you may find it a bit hard to embrace change, but I feel like once you're in the flow of change, you're able to adapt. People also see that when you're in a good place, you're able to create beautiful works. Some of you may be artists in your free time or in your profession, but there's something about flowers here, something about sacred geometry. There's something very symmetrical, very unifying. So I feel like when you're vibing high, either you're creating something that is very beautiful and very impactful, or you're emitting this energy about you outwards, this energy of balance, creativity, strength. And I feel like this activates others into a place of abundance and wanting change for themselves. So I feel like your energy when you're vibing high, part 2, is very infectious. It touches people at the core. It kind of triggers some people, and for others it activates them into taking action, into wanting better for themselves. So part 2, when you're vibing high, your energy is very healing, it's very potent, powerful to others. And I feel like when you're in a good space and when you're doing work that is meaningful to you, you're making a huge difference to the world, to other people's lives. So part 2, when you're vibing high, you emit good vibes to others. Your energy is very magical, very healing to others when you're in this vibe. And I feel like others start feeling and trusting in the magic of life when they're around you, when you're vibing high. So I feel like there's a sense of transmuting energy about you. You're very healing to others. So part 2, that's all I have for you for your reading on how do people view you when you're vibing high. I hope you've enjoyed today's reading, and if you have, please ensure to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more video uploads. And thank you for watching. Catch you next time. Bye. Hello Part 3, and welcome to your pick a card reading on how do people view you when you're vibing high. So right off the bat, Part 3, I feel like people view you when you're vibing high as someone who is very wise. You're someone who holds a lot of inner wisdom. You're someone who is courageous. I feel like some of you have this warrior spirit about you. So when you're vibing high, people see you as someone who is very powerful, driven, a go-getter. They also feel like when you're in your element, when you're grounded, when you're vibing high, you're someone who is not afraid to open up. You could be quite expressive when you're in your element. I feel like in this pile, you have a very good understanding of emotions. I feel like this is a group of people who are emotionally intelligent, as well as socially intelligent. So I feel like when you're vibing high, you're able to help others come out of difficult times. Others feel like they can relate to you when you're vibing high, when you're not afraid to be your authentic self. Also, when you're vibing high, you're very impactful with your communication. I feel like life has taught you to be honest and speak from the heart. So when you're vibing high, Part 3, people see you as someone who is very authentic and a truth seeker as well as a truth speaker. People appreciate, respect this quality about you. And when you're vibing high, you're in this energy of the King of Pentacles. You're your own leader, you're your own boss, and you lead with integrity. You lead with a long-term vision. You're also someone who's able to maintain, sustain healthy relationships. So when you're vibing high, people trust in your authority. They trust in your leadership. They also view you as someone who is humble, practical, down to earth, sustaining. With the 2 wands, people view you when you're vibing high as someone who's able to make good decisions, someone who's able to assess things before jumping into something. They view your insight as very broad. You're someone with high view, perspective of situations. You're someone who can take into account many factors. So I feel like when you're vibing high, people see that you're a natural strategist. So in business, you could be a good leader, a good role model to others. I'm also feeling like when you're vibing high, people feel the sense of community from you. You have a community spirit about you. And you're not just about yourself, you're about the collective. People also see you as someone who is a high flyer. You're not afraid to take risks. You're not afraid to take leaps of faith. And they feel like you're very driven and you're guided by a higher force. They also view you as someone who can take fast action when needed. And people view you as a skillful communicator. You know how to touch people. You know how to get things moving with your choice of words, your communication styles. People also feel like when you're vibing high, you're someone who is realistic. So people see you as someone who's changeable, flexible, someone who can embrace life for what it is. Because you're very down to earth, very practical, logical. You're someone who gets the job done. So as a leader, when you're vibing high, Pile 3, people view you as someone who is a trustworthy leader, someone who's practical, logical, intelligent, and someone who doesn't fray away from life's challenges, adversities. You're someone who speaks your truth, and I feel like you bring out truth in others. I also feel like when you're vibing high, people who are on your wavelength admire you, and those people who have your back will start making themselves visible to you. So when you're vibing high, you attract your soul tribe. You attract other like-minded people. I'm also picking up collaborations could be a theme in your life. Partnerships, relationships. I'm also being brought to this Panther Spirit card. So I feel like when you're vibing high, you're able to maneuver in a way that isn't offensive to others. You could be quite a diplomatic leader. You could be quite tactful. So when you're vibing high, people see you as steadfast, flexible, graceful. And I feel like they admire you more when you're vibing high because they see how powerful you are. They see that you have natural instincts. There's something about you that is very graceful yet intimidating when you're in your power. So people know not to mess around with you because you're someone who is not afraid to confront them. So Pile 3, that's all I have for you for your reading on how do people view you when you're vibing high. I hope you've enjoyed today's reading, and if you have, please ensure to like, share and subscribe to the channel for more video uploads. And thank you for watching. Catch you next time. Bye.